Hey everyone, Johnny C here with another Old School Runescape Trailblazer video. Today I want to talk about the basic mechanics of relics. Relics are obtained by completing tasks in certain areas and getting league points, and then those league points are used to unlock relics. There's going to be 5 difficulty levels to those tasks, ranging from easy to masters, and there's going to be hundreds of tasks. There's going to be 6 tiers of these relics. The first one's free, unlockable after the tutorial, and then each tier has its own passive effect or passive buff that goes along with those relics. There's a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. So the Old School RuneScape team hasn't really put out a whole lot of information on what the relics are, or at least what to expect. So the information I'm covering with you today is going to be what they have said and what's largely speculation. Most of it's going to be from the league's Discord. I'll link that down in the description. Go ahead and drop me a comment with what relic you guys are planning on going with for your first tier and what regions that you guys have chosen so far. All right, so running through this really quickly. The tier 1 category is going to be skilling. The passive effect is that run energy will never drain while running, which effectively is infinite run energy. Tier 2 is the teleportation category relics, and the passive is a league XP multiplier increased from 5 times base experience to 8 times. The tier 3 relics are going to be combat focused, and the passive is the drop rate modifier is increased from 1 times to 2 times, which means, for example, if a drop has a 1 in 1,000 chance of dropping, it now has a 2 in 1,000 chance of dropping. Tier 4 relics are going to fall under the utility category, and the league XP modifier is then increased from 8 times to 12 times. Tier 5 category is skilling focused, and the drop rate modifier is increased from 2 times to 3 times. The tier 6 relic is going to be combat focused, and the XP multiplier for the league is increased from 12 times to 16 times. So as far as the relics go, tier 1 is going to be the skilling category. Tier 2 is the teleportation category, or at least themed. Tier 3 is combat focused. Tier 4 is going to be utility. Tier 5 is skilling, and tier 6 is combat. As for the tier 1 relics, there's the choice between Endless Harvest, which is 2 times the experience gain for fishing, woodcutting, and mining, and also 2 times resources gathered for those skills. So every fish you catch, you're going to catch double and be awarded the experience for that. Every log you chop, you're going to chop double and be awarded the experience for that. And for mining, double ore. Same for experience. Resources are also sent directly to the bank. So for those of you who are actually considering the wilderness, that's a perfect relic for you, because you could be out in the resource area, you can be out in the ice plateau area and getting runite ore without risking realistically anything. For the next relic in tier 1, it's called production master. Everything that you're producing, you're essentially going to produce your entire inventory or everything that you can with the resources available immediately. So things like smelting ore, smithing bars, making cannonballs, fletching logs, stringing bows. If you have more than one actionable item or one producible item in your inventory, all of them will be created. So let's say you're making cannonballs and you have 27 steel bars. It's going to make all 27 steel bars worth of cannonballs immediately in that one action. And there's so many different things that this is applicable to, like cleaning herbs, making potions, cooking food, jugs of wine, so on and so forth. Tier 1's third relic is going to be skilling prodigy, and that's a plus 12 boost to all non-combat related skills. That does include Slayer, so you're going to get a plus 12 boost to Slayer. Now this is a boost, it's a permanent boost that can go down where things degrade your stats, but they'll replenish back up to that plus 12. They're not boostable above plus 12, but there's going to be a lot of things that this does not apply to. There's going to be mini games like Pyramid Plunder, Sepulcher, things that require a certain level to get into, and quests that require a certain level to access or start or complete or whatever it may be that this doesn't work on. So things or skills that are normally boostable and tasks that are completable with boostable skills, this would work great for. But in terms of Slayer, you cannot be assigned a task if you do not have that permanent level. So the tier 2 relic is in the teleportation category. Looking at relic 1, it looks to be something to do with fairy rings, is what most people are thinking. Like, for example, use fairy rings without the Drahman staff, a portable fairy ring. I don't think the Drahman staff one is right because of the diaries. They're not going to be hard to get. Portable fairy ring, it could be teleport to any fairy ring from anywhere by right clicking the Drahman staff. Additional fairy rings are added. Yeah, maybe. Mini game teleport on no cooldowns. I think more likely it's gonna be some kind of like teleport directly to a fairy ring. Relic 2 in the tier 2 category. Yeah, I mean it looks like some jewelry. You know, it looks to me like there's some hands holding up some kind of amulet. Could be a light bulb, but it looks to me like an amulet as far as RuneScape's items go. It's most likely, or it's probably going to be something to do with like unlimited jewelry charges. It might be have access to all of the jewelry charges from some kind of interface. You know, maybe you have a portable jewelry box that goes with you. Relic 3 looks like a peach. Looking a little bit more into detail though, it does look like there is a arrow that goes along the outside. Maybe it's the home teleport, like no cooldown on minigame and home teleports. I think it's probably something to do with that. Also, maybe instant minigame home and region teleports, you know, teleport you back to the place you teleported from. Probably not. Save the location you're standing on to teleport back to at any time. That would be broken. Straight up broken. And then access to Rks Teleport Spells. Um, I don't think they'll put Rks Teleport Spells in here. I don't think teleport's going to be that big of an issue in the Trailblazer League. I mean, the whole point realistically is to explore. So if you're teleporting everywhere, you're not really exploring. Maybe you'll miss a task along the way, or I don't know. Maybe it'll be effective if you're doing super repetitive tasks. But uh, on to more exciting things, right? Tier 3 combat. Let's talk about it. Relic 1. What does that look like? Because to me, 99% sure that that is a bow and crossbow with like an empowered or a force arrow there, which means it's most likely. And before I even talk about what this one is, look at the other two. So Relic 2 looks 100% like a sword. We saw the other relic icons. There was a like some kind of poll for that relic icon to see like, hey, which one looks kind of the best, and it was a lot more detailed as a relic than what they've released here. It's definitely a sword, so it's either melee specific or just combat related in general. But normally when they do combat, they do the X, the cross swords. And then Relic 3, it's probably Mage. Now, I think it's interesting that on here it says, you know, maybe it's damage reduction because it looks like the Staff of the Dead. So, anyways, Relic 1 and Tier 3 looks to be like some kind of buff to ranging. You know, it might just be an accuracy buff, it might be some kind of defense bypass or do more damage or some kind of proc. Like instead of like instead of a bonus all the time, it's gonna be a bonus some of the time, like increased proc chance for your specials bolts or something. I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's gonna be more like an accuracy and damage buff, just straight up. Relic 2 in Tier 3 combat category looks like some kind of melee focused buff. Keeping with the theme of that, Relic 1 should be probably accuracy or damage. So Relic 2 is probably going to be accuracy or damage. But there is something really interesting on here that I wanted to talk about, and that's the idea of lifesteal. If your melee attacks are buffed and you have the capability of lifestealing, that would be sick. Not only do you have Blood Fury, but maybe this is like a permanent Blood Fury. Another idea is, maybe a chance to regain special attack on hit, some kind of special attack buff, or maybe every hit is an AGS hit. Relic 3 almost definitely looks like some kind of mage affiliated. This is the combat triangle, right? So we just discussed range and melee. This would be mage. So the ideas are, maybe damage reduction, slower prayer drain, double protection pairs, maybe some kind of mage-like effect, like -2 ticks on mage weapons. That's pretty OP. Calm down. But, maybe an actual damage increase, because keep in mind we're not going to have ancestral robes, so maybe it is an actual accuracy/damage increase to mage. Tier 4 is going to be utility, and I think this is really neat. So, with the Tier 4 utility relics, the icons on Relic 1 looks like a bag. It straight up looks like a bag. Does that mean we're getting like a looting bag that you can use everywhere? I mean, it could very well be your very own personal looting bag that you can use literally everywhere in the game, right? Because there's no PvP, and this is a utility relic. So I don't think of too many things when I think of utility availability in RuneScape, but the ability to increase your inventory space is something that is extremely invaluable. And is another idea on here, and then double mini game reward points, because it does look like there is some kind of 2 on there. um I don't know, I think that one's kind of a long shot. I think the double inventory is most likely where it is, and with that it's probably going to come in in the form of a looting bag that can be used anywhere, or something similar to a looting bag anyway. Relic 2. So clue scrolls were arguably the best and worst relic of Twisted League. Like, game breaking. Like, if you did this, you actually had the ability to just clue scroll all league. Now, while I enjoyed people opening up like 5,000 loot crates from uh clue scrolls, and I personally do like loot crate videos, I don't think that they're going to do that again. I think that was really, really game breaking for the league, because people weren't actually playing the league, they were just straight up doing clues. So Relic 2 does look like some kind of chest of some sort. Now we're not going to have access to the Mimic because that's on the Zaya area, and so with it looking like a chest, maybe it's teleport to the Mimic, or you have the ability to fight the Mimic, or you immediately you have one less step on your clue scrolls, which is probable. Suggestion number 1 is buffs clue scrolls drop rates. Yeah, it could be something like that. I don't think so though. I think if anything, they don't want you to have as many clues as Twisted League. Suggestion number 2 is that clue scrolls always have the lowest amount of steps. In looking at the icon, it does look like there is 4 some kind of impressions or things around the chest now that I look at it. So yeah, it very well could be. It could be a 4-step clue instead of, something longer. And the 5th suggestion would be, maybe mini game/gauntlet rewards give double loot. That one is possible. Maybe better chance on those kinds of roll loots Barbarian Assault has a random loot board as well. It's entirely possible they might actually be worth grinding here. Relic number 3 in the tier 4 utility tab. The biggest number one suggestion here is the Slayer Task Picker. That to me sounds so strong. I don't know, a sideways cactus. What does it look like to you? Drop me a comment. I'm thinking though it's probably gonna be something to do with Slayer. It's something to do with, instead of RNG, you're gonna get the ability to pick something. I'm at a loss. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. Tier 5 relics are going to be in the skilling category. Relic number 1 is something to do with potions. It does look like that is an alchemy related item or a herblore related item. There's a potion there. You got some bubbling things at the top there. Maybe potions give a stronger benefit when drunk. Potions are always made into 4 doses or greater. What about chance to not consume a potion dose upon use, which would be pretty sweet as well. It might mess some things up, I guess if you're bringing like a 1 dose potion because you want the inventory space and then you try and drink it, but it doesn't actually drink, that would get kind of annoying. But maybe. So just a thought, right? Relic 2 on the tier 5 skilling category. So a harpoon, a pickaxe, and a hatchet or an axe. If we're looking at like our skilling relics versus our combat relics, there's wasn't anything to do with speed before. There was a double collect kind of thing. One of the suggestions is 1 tick mining, fishing, wood cutting. That would be so strong. So strong. It would be like playing like one of those idle game clicker games. That would be insanely strong. Uh, the second suggestion would be smoldering stone effects on all axes, pickaxes, and harpoons, or any fishing tool that turns ores into bars, burns logs, or cooks food. Uh, it, it's possible, considering that there is some kind of outline there at the bottom of the relic, some kind of image outline there. It's possible. Toolless gathering, so gather at dragon tier or at a higher raid. That would be really neat because if you're not unlocking wilderness, then you're not going to have access to the dragon pickaxe, and if you're not unlocking Fremi area, then you're not going to have access to the dragon axe, and that would be really really cool to gather at a dragon tier with that dragon equipment equipped. Number 4 is trees and rocks do not deplete when harvesting. And I think that's one of my favorites. To be honest, I think that should have been done in the game a long time ago. I don't, maybe with the exception of rune rocks, maybe rune rocks should deplete, but everything else, make it so that you can just farm it. Relic number 3 looks like a law rune. What would a law relic do, considering it's in the skilling category? The suggestions go as followed. Some XP is shared to your lowest skill when training. Maybe create some kind of balance between your skills. Like this would be like a Tears of Guthics kind of drip drop drizzle on that lowest skill. Yeah, maybe. I think that would be pretty strong considering. Maybe no fail thieving, agility, hunter, etc. Yeah, it could be that one. Why not rune crafting? Why wouldn't it be some kind of uh teleport to rune crafting altars? So tier 6 combat, the tier 6 relic, the 3 that are there look so cool. Like so cool. Just wanted to throw that out there. They're so simple and they're clean. So tier 6 is the combat category relics. In relic number 1, there's a little prayer icon there on it, most likely. Hit points icon there. And it looks to be like an arrow. One of the suggestions says get hit points or prayer back when you're dealing damage. Yeah, maybe when you're doing range damage. What about faster regeneration of health and then a slower regeneration of prayer? What about that? Relic number 2. It looks sick. It looks like a blood barrage, but like a super barrage. I don't know what this one is. I mean, it could be so many different things. It looks like it's some kind of mage relation. Um, with Relic 1, it's got an arrow on it. There's no runes, so it's probably not going to be rune related, but it could be, you never know. Relic number 2, maybe it's all of your spells are capable of doing AoE damage. So say for example, if you're still on standard spellbook and you go to Theater of Blood and you don't have ancients unlocked, you're gonna be entangling, right? I mean, what other way is there? You're not gonna use a ZGS on the crabs in Maiden. I'm thinking it's probably an AoE relic for Mage. Every spell you cast freezes. That would be interesting. Every spell you cast freezes. That would be interesting. Or a percent increase on all damage. Well, yeah, they would have to do some kind of damage increase on Mage. Relic number 3. Twisted League had a relic that increased the attack speed of all weapons by 1 tick. We haven't seen anything like that until this relic. It looks to me like it's melee related, right? So if we're keeping with the theme of these kinds of relics, uh, tier 1 being most likely range based, tier 2 being most likely mage based, tier 3 is most definitely melee based. So this is a faster attack speed on all weapons or melee only. It's probably melee only, realistically. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of the video. I know this was a super long one. I didn't want to condense it down too much. I tried to make it as quick as possible. If you do like the Trailblazer League content, if you like old school RuneScape content from me, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Previous videos up here, be sure to get a watch, and I hope to see you in the Trailblazer League.